Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines.
Iranian forces have launched the 17th phase of their Sayakeh drone operation, targeting US military facilities in Kuwait on Sunday. Iranian statements say the strikes hit an ammunition depot, Patriot radar systems, and military warehouses. Air raid sirens sounded in Kuwait, with the country's military saying its air defenses engaged hostile targets. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has said that the United States is trying to compensate for what it called a military defeat through continued attacks and efforts to restore the Strait of Hormuz to its pre-war status. IRGC Commander Brigadier General Yadollah Javani claimed that Iranian forces had delivered heavy blows to US bases in Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and other countries, and vowed the attacks would continue. He also threatened revenge against those responsible for the killing of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Earlier, the Revolutionary Guard said that 2 ships were involved in an accident after attempting to cross the Strait of Hormuz through what Tehran described as an unsafe route. The IRGC said that 2 other vessels abandoned the same route and accused the ships of acting with US backing. The guards warned that vessels entering unsafe routes would face the risk of further accidents. The United States launched a new wave of airstrikes on Iran after 2 American service members were killed and another went missing in an Iranian attack in Jordan. US Central Command, CENTCOM said. CENTCOM said the strikes targeted Iranian military assets linked to threats against commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz and aimed to weaken the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' operational capabilities. The latest escalation follows the collapse of a temporary US-Iran ceasefire. Iran warned Washington of heavier costs if attacks continue, while reports of missile and drone strikes across Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia highlighted widening regional tensions. President Donald Trump calls the deaths of 2 US service members in an Iranian missile and drone attack in Jordan a very sad thing, saying they died in service of our country. He reiterated that Washington's primary goal remains preventing Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. US Central Command said 2 troops were killed, 1 remains missing, and 4 others were injured in the attack. The latest casualties bring the US death toll since the conflict began to 16, with more than 430 service members wounded. Hours later, the US launched another round of airstrikes on Iranian military targets. US President Donald Trump has called on Republicans to add Iran to a sanctions bill targeting Russia. The legislation, championed by the late Senator Lindsey Graham and backed by senators from both parties, proposes sanctions on Russian officials and tariffs aimed at pressuring China and India to reduce their reliance on Russian energy. The International Atomic Energy Agency has said that it is investigating reports of an overnight attack on the construction site of Iran's planned Dakhovan nuclear power plant. The agency says the facility was still in the very early stages of construction and contained no nuclear material when it was last inspected. Iran has condemned the US attack on the site, as fighting between Washington and Tehran intensifies.
Lebanese President Joseph Aoun is set to visit the White House this week for his first meeting with US President Donald Trump. Aoun is expected to present a plan aimed at disarming Hezbollah and securing Israel's withdrawal from southern Lebanon. The visit marks the first by a Lebanese head of state to the White House in nearly 2 decades and comes amid ongoing efforts to reduce regional tensions. Israel is set to receive additional US aerial refueling aircraft as regional tensions continue to escalate. The move comes amid intensified exchanges between the United States and Iran following the collapse of an interim ceasefire. Israeli officials say Washington is reinforcing its military posture in the region by expanding its fleet of refueling aircraft stationed in Israel. Israel has not taken part in the latest US strikes on Iran. Russia has launched one of its largest ballistic missile attacks on Kyiv since the start of the war, killing at least 1 person and injuring 16 others. Dozens of missiles struck the Ukrainian capital overnight, damaging residential buildings, warehouses, a supermarket, and a student dormitory across several districts. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, while local authorities said several of the injured remain in critical condition.
Influencers Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have been arrested in the United States after British prosecutors filed new rape, trafficking and sexual offence charges and launched extradition proceedings. The UK Crown Prosecution Service said Andrew Tate faces 7 additional rape charges, while Tristan Tate has been charged with rape, sexual assault and trafficking-related offences. The alleged crimes date from 2010 to 2017. Both brothers deny all allegations. British authorities said they will seek the brothers' extradition to stand trial in the UK, with the new charges expanding an existing criminal case involving 7 alleged victims. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared his support for Argentina ahead of Sunday's FIFA World Cup final against Spain, expressing solidarity with Argentine President Javier Milei. During a meeting with Argentina's ambassador to Israel, Netanyahu received a national team jersey and an audio message from Milei, who thanked him for his support. Netanyahu responded by calling Milei a true friend and wished Argentina success in the final. "I don't hide that I'm rooting for Argentina. Good luck. Vamos Argentina," Netanyahu said as Lionel Messi's side prepares to face Spain in New York.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.